Hello, dear Sagittarius. There comes a moment in life that no one warns you about. A door closes, a relationship ends, an opportunity disappears right before your eyes. Sagittarius, you stand there, among the unspoken shards, not understanding why everything suddenly slipped from your hands. But what you don't know is, from that very moment, the universe began rewriting your destiny, and what's coming next is greater, brighter, and more sacred than anything you ever dreamed of. Because sometimes the best things don't arrive with music, but in the quiet moment when you choose to step forward in courage. Comment below, I am ready to walk through the door of my destiny. Because when you write those words, you are sending a signal to the unseen forces waiting for you to take the path you were meant for. So what is it that makes Sagittarius the one the universe always chooses to begin again, no matter how many doors have closed behind? The answer begins with a wandering soul, forever seeking truth and light. Keep listening, for what you're about to hear may forever change how you view your past. There is a truth that few dare to speak aloud. Not everyone has the courage to walk away from a relationship that seemed stable, to walk away from a job that was once a dream, or to walk away from an outdated version of yourself, simply because something inside you no longer felt alive. But Sagittarius was not born to stay. They were born to move, not to cling to what is safe, but to chase what is true. Because you are ruled by Jupiter, the planet of expansion, truth, philosophy, belief, and sacred journeys. This is not mere luck, it is an ancient promise between you and the stars. I once witnessed a Sagittarius lose everything: love, finances, reputation. To the outside world, it looked like a collapse, but to me, it was a rebirth. Because when a Sagittarius falls, they don't fall like others. They don't stay at the bottom. They dig deeper, they question, they learn, and they discover a new meaning. I believe no pain ever reaches a Sagittarius without purpose. Every upheaval is a sacred lesson sent from the sky itself. In astrology, the placement of Jupiter in your birth chart reveals where you will grow the most. When you dare to believe, dare to take risks, dare to step beyond your comfort zone. If Jupiter lies in your first house, you carry the mission of becoming an inspirer. If it's in the 9th house, you are a seeker of spiritual knowledge. And if it's in the 12th house, you are an ancient soul, returned to clear karma and awaken others. Sagittarius is the symbol of the archer, one hand holding the string, the other the arrow. They aim for horizons no one else dares to see, and even when their arrows miss the mark, they always return and pull the string again. Do you know why? Because faith is the fuel of Sagittarius, not blind faith, but faith born from breaking, from loss, from standing in the ruins of a collapsing world and still choosing not to turn bitter. Have you ever felt like you had lost everything, lost your faith, your direction, even yourself? And then one day, you woke up and no longer waited for the old to return, because you realized what you thought was an ending was simply a necessary bend in the road so your soul could catch up and grow. One of the most human lessons I've learned in over 50 years of walking beside Sagittarians is this: freedom doesn't come from escaping responsibility. It comes from living in alignment with what you were born to do. You may not always be understood. You may be labeled as unstable, constantly changing. But the truth is, the Sagittarius soul cannot survive in a life devoid of truth. A safe room built on falsehood will make Sagittarius sick. A relationship lacking honesty will suffocate their spirit. A path without a broader vision will turn them into a shadow of themselves. If you're hearing this, and you are a Sagittarius, or you're walking a journey that feels like one, pause for a moment. You don't have to heal everything right away. You don't need all the answers just yet. Just admit one thing: you are changing. And no one has the right to demand that you remain who you once were. If this resonates, leave a comment. I am ready to live in alignment with the truth within me, because you don't need anyone's permission to be yourself. And if you've ever felt alone because the path you chose seemed too different, remember this: even the stars once stood alone, before they lit up the sky for everyone else. Share this video with someone else who may also be standing between two worlds, between the old and the new, between fear and hope, between an ending and a beginning. Because perhaps you are the reminder they need, that there is always a divine reason for every door that closes. So if the universe designed for Sagittarius a path unlike anyone else's, what truly happens when a great door is shut? Is it merely a loss or a sacred protection in disguise? Some endings don't come to hurt you. They arrive like a ritual, silent but sacred, to gently lead you away from something that has completed its mission in your life. And strangely enough, most of us only understand this after everything has already fallen apart. For Sagittarius, this is never accidental. In your birth chart, when Jupiter, your ruling planet, moves through the 12th, 1st, and 9th houses, it's like the turning of a fated wheel. Each position is a chapter in your soul's evolution, and sometimes a great door must close. When Jupiter enters the 12th house, the house of isolation, the unconscious, and karmic closure, this may be a time when you feel alone, old, detached, unclear. You may no longer feel connected to the things that once mattered. You may lose interest in goals that once made your heart race. But you know what? This is not a sign that you're falling behind. It's a sign that you're being refined. I believe that every time Jupiter enters the 12th house, it is an invitation. Are you willing to let go in order to rise? And then when Jupiter steps into the 1st house, the house of who am I, a new breeze sweeps through your life. You suddenly want to cut your hair, change your style, switch careers, not because you're unhappy, but because you're no longer the person you used to be. I once heard a Sagittarius say, "I woke up one morning and I just knew I couldn't live like yesterday anymore." I didn't know why, but I knew my soul was demanding a new version of me. That is Jupiter, lighting up the 1st house, awakening the truest part of who you are. And when that journey arrives at the 9th house, the house of mission, of higher learning, of soul vision, you begin to see that everything you once lost was actually preparation. The retreat wasn't to weaken you. It was to give you enough space to step into a role that is greater, brighter, and more real. When everything collapses, don't be afraid. That is how the universe clears the path for you to step into your true calling. Are you in such a phase right now? When you look back and realize that relationship ended, that career stopped, or even you changed completely, not because you got off track, but because the old path had finished its purpose. If something left your life, and now you know deep down it had to, share your story. You never know, your experience might be the key for someone else who's still lost. And if right now you're still feeling unsteady, know this: you are not alone. This vibration, these doors that are closing around you, are silently opening something better, something brighter, something more solid. You just need to sit in stillness long enough to hear the whisper of your own soul. If you feel these words are speaking to you, leave a comment. I believe what left me was meant to go. Because that very act of acknowledgement is how you release yourself from silent suffering. And if you find yourself thinking about a person, a place, or a dream from the past while listening to this, then maybe this is the confirmation you've been waiting for. So if everything that left was divinely orchestrated, could it be that you're not being punished, but protected? Sometimes the universe's protection doesn't come in the form of an angel. It comes as a door that won't open. No announcement, no explanation, just rejection, delay, resistance, cold and unmoving. And you ask yourself, what did I do wrong? But maybe you did nothing wrong. Maybe you were simply being pulled away from a path not meant for you by invisible hands your soul once trusted. There's a saying I carry with me after reading hundreds of Sagittarius birth charts. Not every closed door is a rejection. Some doors are disguised exits. You may feel pain, you may feel like you're falling behind, but from the view of the sacred realms, you are being led by a different route toward a light that was meant for you. Now, for Sagittarius, this is not an easy lesson, because you were wired to persevere, to find a way, to fight your way through. You are the sign that refuses to be locked out. You will question, you will knock, you will climb the wall if you must, because in your heart there is always a voice saying, there has to be another way. And yes, sometimes that drive brings you miracles. But other times, that same fire makes you push on a door that was never meant to open for you, until you lose the light inside. I remember a Sagittarius. She loved someone deeply, as if he were her destiny. She was patient, she sacrificed, she even gave up parts of herself. just to see him happy. And then one day he left, without warning. No clear reason, just a sentence, "I can't keep going." She fell apart. But 3 years later, she became a speaker, inspiring millions of women. It was from that pain that she began to write. It was from that crack that she opened a world she never believed she could step into. And today, she quietly thanks the door that closed. "If he hadn't left, I would have never known that I could live and love myself." Have you ever been there? Knocking endlessly on a door, praying, waiting, hoping it would open. But the more you tried, the more drained you became. Until one day, you were too tired. You sat down, and you looked around. And maybe, for the first time, you realized there are so many other doors, but you never allowed yourself to try. When a door is locked, it's not a sign that you're not good enough. It's a sign that you're being protected from the wrong path. The universe does not punish you with a closed door. God is not silent to cause you pain, and angels don't pull you out of somewhere just to abandon you in the wilderness. They are pushing you toward a life your soul has been waiting for a very long time. And all they need is for you to stop knocking on the wrong door long enough to notice another gate quietly opening. If you've ever been through this, share it. I understand now. That door wasn't meant for me because I was being protected. Because that very acknowledgement is the first step into the land that was always meant for you. And you know something. When a Sagittarius begins to let go, out of self-love, when they accept that not every answer has to come right away, they don't grow weaker, they become light. Because they begin a journey not just to escape what was wrong, but to step into what is divinely chosen. So if a door won't open, then what is the true path Sagittarius is being called to walk? The answer isn't ahead of you, it's deep inside you. Can you hear it? A new heartbeat is beginning to rise behind everything you thought was lost. A delicate light is threading its way through the cracks you once believed would break you. You are not being left behind. You are being opened, like a brave flower blooming in a season with no sun. In astrology, there are moments that don't come to test you, but to bless you. And one of those moments is drawing near. As Jupiter, the ruling planet of Sagittarius, begins to form a trine with Uranus and Venus in the coming months, an energy of expansion, breakthrough, and deep love will ripple powerfully through your soul chart. No more halfway beginnings, no more fragile dreams, but a real opportunity, a new foundation, a chapter unlike anything you've written before. This is not the time to fear. This is the time to open your heart and receive. Because finally, the door that you deserve is beginning to open. And I want you to hear this clearly. You haven't lost your chance. You are being led to one that is bigger, stronger, and more aligned with your soul. Maybe you've cried over something that didn't work out. Maybe you felt yourself falling behind as others moved forward. Maybe you've wondered if you've been forgotten by life itself. But the truth is, the universe never forgets a soul that has endured pain to grow. And do you know who is often tested right before the blessings arrive? Those who carry a mission to inspire others. Sagittarius. Not just a bearer of fire, but a bringer of light to the world. I once read a Sagittarius chart where Jupiter, trining Venus, marked the return of a dream long thought dead. Just weeks after she let go of a toxic relationship, the girl received a full scholarship to France, a dream she had once been denied 3 years earlier. What changed wasn't the world. What changed was her inner energy. And the universe responded with a whisper. You've learned your lesson. Now it's time to receive what you truly deserve. If you've been waiting for a sign from the universe, maybe this is it. Leave a comment. I believe this moment is for me. Because when you dare to say that out loud, you're not just affirming it to yourself. You are awakening the energetic gates that have remained quiet for far too long. And if you're still doubting yourself, your path, what has come and gone, let me offer this. From the heart of someone who's walked alongside many Sagittarius souls. No one goes farther than a Sagittarius when they finally pause to believe in themselves. So now that the new door is opening, are you ready to step through? Next, we will touch the real fire of a Sagittarius who cannot be broken. The rising of a soul that refuses to stay down, and the journey no one else can walk in your place. Because here's something I believe with all my heart. There will come a time when every Sagittarius will rise. Not because they've never been knocked down, but because written in every fiber of their soul is this truth. I was not born to surrender. Who are you, Sagittarius? You are not just a human being. You are the wisdom of the pilgrim, the flame of the revolutionary, the heart of one who sees beyond the dark. When others choose safety, you choose truth. When others fall silent, you choose faith. And when others settle, you ask, can I go further? I once told a Sagittarius who had just walked through a profound crisis, if the world is a maze, you don't need a map. You only need a fire in your heart. Because what guides Sagittarius was never the beaten path. It is the inner light, steady, loyal, honest. And no matter how far they stray, they always find their way back to themselves. Maybe you've walked through a long season of darkness. No more drive, no more direction, no more belief in yourself. But if you're hearing me now, I need you to know something. No one can truly stop you except the fear inside you. Sometimes it's not the world that holds you back, but a quiet voice in your own mind. I'm not enough. I'm afraid to fail. I don't dare try again. I'm scared to get hurt once more. But let me ask you, are you locking yourself out of life just because you're afraid you're not enough? Be honest with yourself. Because if you are still hiding your strength just to avoid disappointing someone, you are delaying the life your soul came here to live. You were not born to live halfway. You were not born to ask for permission before shining. You are Sagittarius, the sign that clears the path, ignites the flame, and awakens the world. Don't let pain make you question your own light. Don't let the wrong memory stop you from writing a new chapter. And don't let anyone make you forget this. You were chosen for this journey. If this stirred something in your heart, leave a comment. I choose to rise. Because my soul was born to keep going. Because the moment you dare to write that, you begin to awaken the sacred part of you that has been sleeping. And if you know someone who's losing themselves, send them this video. Because maybe you are the one who will relight the flame they forgot they had. So now that you've risen, Sagittarius, what awaits you on the other side of that fire? We are about to step into one of the most fateful moments, when destiny answers with an opportunity. And you will realize everything that was lost was simply making room for what is ready to arrive. Sometimes, destiny doesn't speak with a clear voice. It speaks with a gentle nudge, an unexpected event, an unexplained opportunity, a door opening in a place you never imagined. And there you are, standing at the threshold between fear and faith, between the old and the new, between the ache and the hope. And you ask yourself, should I walk through? In the coming months, a major shift is approaching. Mercury retrograde will bring back words unspoken. Saturn retrograde will ask the question, have you truly learned the lesson from before? Are you ready to take responsibility for the happiness you once prayed for? For Sagittarius, this is not just a time for action. It is a time for deep choice. Will you keep avoiding by staying busy, repeating old patterns? Or will you stop and place your hand on the very door the universe is opening? I once had an experience. I left a city I once called home, a place I thought, if I'm not here, I am nothing. I had status, stability, an image that others expected of me. But inside, I was depleted. I remember the day I packed my bags. No one knew, no farewell. Just me, a single suitcase, and a heart beating so loud it seemed to whisper, are we really doing this? I arrived in a place where no one knew my name. No one expected anything of me. And it was there that I wrote my very first lines that would one day touch hundreds of thousands of hearts. I realized something. Sometimes, the place you truly belong isn't the one you've stayed in the longest. It's the place where you are most fully yourself. You might be heading towards such a strange place right now. A new opportunity, a new person, a new job, a land you never imagined your feet would touch. And you're nervous. You wonder if you're brave enough to begin again. You question whether you're worthy of receiving something good. But if destiny is already knocking, will you dare to open? If you've been given a new chance, have you truly let go of the past? Be honest with yourself. Because sometimes an opportunity doesn't arrive to help you fix the past. It comes to let you write a future that is no longer chained to it. Comment now. I am ready to walk into the opportunity meant for my soul. Because when you dare to declare that, you're not just choosing something new, you're choosing yourself. And when you're ready to step through that new door, with a courageous heart and eyes lit by life, what awaits you on the other side? Coming next, you will see. Nothing happens by accident, and every door that once closed was only preparing you to cherish what's about to open. This is the end and the beginning. And Sagittarius, you are ready. You may feel like something inside you has just ended. An old chapter has closed. A relationship no longer has a place to hold. A path once familiar, now silent and cold. But listen closely. There is no sunset that marks the end, only a soft curtain drawn so that the sunrise can begin. And more than anything, I want you to hear this. The ending is not death. It is a quiet coronation of your soul, to formally step into a deeper maturity. You may not realize this, but you are no longer who you were. You've walked through storms that no one else even knew existed. You've lived through days carrying questions no words could answer. And though you were tired, you never walked away from your journey. That's not weakness, that's strength. So what's coming to you now is not just a reward, it is a confirmation, a new relationship where you no longer have to pretend, a new career built from the real light within you, or maybe a new version of yourself, freer, braver, wiser, and needing no one's permission to fully be who you are. You might not know the name of what's coming, but your soul already recognizes it. And if everything around you feels like it's shifting, dissolving, calling you out of the old, then know this. This is not an ending. This is your sacred debut, under true light. If you feel you're in the threshold season of your life, drop a like or share this video with someone who needs to hear these words. Because maybe the message you send today is the miracle someone else has been silently waiting for. So in the end, every closed door, every turned page was leading you somewhere. And if you're still here, listening to the final moments, then I know your soul did not land on this video by accident. You're here because you're ready. Ready to let go. Ready to believe again. Ready to step through the threshold that has waited for you for so long. I know you've been strong for a long time, but you don't have to keep carrying everything alone anymore. The universe would not have sent you this unless the light within you was strong enough to understand it. Thank you for having the courage to face yourself. For listening, not just with your ears, but with your heart. For being here, right now, in the moment destiny begins to turn. And if this message truly touched you, let me know. Comment below. I am ready to step into my soul's mission. Because that is not just a sentence, it's a vow to yourself and a signal to the universe that the gates may now open. Share this video with someone who needs a spark of hope. You never know, a single act of sharing might restore someone's faith the way yours is being restored today. And if this video meant something to you, hit like. Not just to support me, but to spread this awakening energy to other souls still waiting to be stirred. Sagittarius, this is not the end. This is the calling. And from this moment forward, every step you take will no longer be just a personal journey. It will be the echo of a soul finally living in alignment with the reason it was born. Are you ready to move forward? I'll be waiting for you on the other side of your courage. See you soon in the next chapter of light. And I believe you've been preparing for this all along.